This picture right here shows everything that's wrong with America. I'm not even exaggerating. I hope that this is placed in a museum somewhere so that 100 years in the future, historians that would try to understand our society and our way of life would look at it. And I assume that they will be more intelligent than the people that live today, so that they just look at the picture and draw all the correct conclusions, right? So where do I even begin with this? There are so many things going wrong here. You get all of these for $100, tip not included. Like that's the big joke here. But it's also immigrants make America great. They also cooked your food and served you today. Thank you, come again. Now I gotta point out that the Democrats are absolutely incapable of differentiating video games from reality, anime from reality, and immigrants from illegal immigrants. Like it is impossible for them to do so. It's like asking them, how would you feel if you didn't have breakfast last morning? You know, like they just cannot answer the question, not because they don't want to, but literally they cannot, they do not know. They do not know the difference. The thing that really amuses me with this picture is that how can you say America is great when you're showing me that an omelet with some French fries costs $100, and you know they're going to force to make you tip, right? Because it's part of the culture. Like it has become so ridiculous that even when you go to a place where there's no waiter, like you go to a McDonald's or something, they have a little box for tips. Even though like there's no one serving you, there's nothing, like there is a box there. And if you try to order, like there are some companies now where you have to tip before your food arrives. But like the insanity of tipping is not something that's coming from a great country. And then it's, you know, the fact that the corporation gets to lecture you. Like this is the most beautiful thing. It's you live into this dystopian land which is much worse than what your grandfathers lived in, right? The only difference, like you can say it's better now, is because we have better technology, but technology has nothing to do with culture and the economy. I mean, it has something to do with the economy a little bit, but like it's completely separated from culture. You can have a society that's very focused on being a dictatorship, right? And they can be very technological advanced. Just look at China. And you can also have a society that's a democracy and it respects human rights, but they're very poor, so the technology isn't there. I know that leftists try to make this thing with Star Trek that like culture creates technology. No. I genuinely think that people were more happy than the ones that live today in San Francisco, in Chicago, and in some of these American hellholes. Like people in the past used to be more happy. I mean, how can you not be like look, $110 for Jesus? But then, right, the company gets to lecture you for this. They're basically saying, hey, we're hiring the cheapest labor possible, and we're selling you the most expensive product possible. America is great. Bidenomics rule. Like, this is I think the thing that really annoys Americans, especially if you're talking about illegal immigration. So like the corporations look at them as slaves. In fact, they're probably better than slaves, because with a slave you have to buy him clothing and food and provide a shelter for him. Like corporations don't have to do this, right? They don't care. Like imagine hiring people for minimum wage or even below minimum wage in the poorest working conditions possible, and you know that if they complain, you can report them to ICE. You know that if they complain, what are they going to do? Are they going to sue you? No, of course not. They probably don't even master the language to the point where they would be able. And this is why they even consider like telling someone to learn English is racist. Because they don't want the person to integrate. They don't want the person to be able to use the legal system against the corporations that are oppressing them. They don't want the person to even know that, hey, the corporation you're working for is oppressing you. Right? So they want to keep people ignorant. They want to keep people desperate so that they are willing to work for the minimum wage, so that they can sell the public a product that is beyond expensive. And what the fuck are they doing to this? Like, look here. Look at this. $15 for the toast? What the fuck do they do for the toast? Do they cover it in gold? Is it gold plated? Like, how on earth can you justify $15 for a toast? And I assume that due to the fact that they're moralizing the customer, it's a place where liberals go, right? Like this is a liberal restaurant, I guess, you know. And then it's like, why is America great? It's because you have people that can cook food. Like this is so fucking demeaning. Like if I was to know that Romanians are going into Germany, and a German restaurant said Germany is great because Romanians cook food here, I would find that incredibly offensive and disrespectful. Like you're not saying they're inventing penicillin or that they're creating Nobel Prize. No, like you're basically stating that they are doing something which everyone has done through the thousands of years of human existence. Like everyone knows how to cook food. Like if you don't know how to cook food, you starve. Like everyone does it, right? And of course, every country has people that work in restaurants. Like this is not, for instance, you go into America and you find people that work on AI. Well, you don't really have that in Europe, right? Or people that create social media companies. You don't really have that in Europe. It's basically like something that exists in America. It shows the peak of human technology, and right. But a restaurant exists almost everywhere. It's one of the most simple businesses to have. Like even throughout medieval time, you had places like inns and places where you could go and you could eat. Like this is not something out of the ordinary. Like we're not talking about inventing robotics here. We're talking about making food. And even then, right? Like I am genuinely curious. Are they talking about legal migrants? Or are they talking about illegal? If they're talking about illegal, then why aren't you hiring citizens? When are citizens supposed to work? Oh, these are the jobs that no one wants to do. Well, no one wants to do a job that's poorly paid. How about you raise the fucking wages and then you're going to have people that are willing to do the jobs? I mean, surely you can afford it. Holy shit, you're charging $100? And by the way, if they're actually getting tips, I guarantee to you that the people working there are incredibly poorly paid, because what the restaurant industry is doing now, especially in America, they're not doing this in Romania, but they are severely underpaying their workers because they know that the customer is going to compensate them for their wages, right? So like they pay them minimum wage knowing that they're going to make the money off of tips. So in other words, you as the customer, not only do you pay $100 for the meal, but you also have to cough up another $20 in order to pay for the waiter because the restaurant isn't paying them. And then the company gets to lecture you, the customer, further. It's insane. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is the best picture that I could ever find on the internet to describe the absolute state of the United States today. But anyway, I need to shill my channel now, so if you like my channel, scroll down. There's the pinned comment. It takes you to my subscribe star. And if you donate there, even $5, not only do you support the channel, but you make America great by supporting the best buyer's remorse on the internet. Hey, you go to this restaurant to get buyer's remorse, but from my channel, you'll get even better. So I'll see you in the comment section. Take care.